Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be working on a couple pieces for my living room. These are pieces that I've had for a while and I'm going to be making them over so they fit my new style in my living room. So it is a DIY home decor makeover video. So let's jump right into it. So here are the two pieces I'm going to be working on. You might know that this one I just recently made this over, but with the way the direction that my decor went, it no longer goes with it. So I'm going to do a little bit of a makeover on this piece. And then I'm also going to make over the lamp, the base of the lamp, just to go again more with the new style. And I'm doing it outside, so it's a little bit noisy, so I'll probably switch to voiceover, but I just wanted to go over with what I need for each project. So for this one I am going to be using some paint stripper or stain stripper, some mineral spirits. Then I'm going to use any Sloan Athenian black chalk paint, as well as a water-based top coat, high performance. You will need some gloves, some tape, a bag for taping over, scissors. I'm also going to use any Sloan warm gold gilding wax, something to scrape the stain off, which is I like using this, some, like I said, sanding stuff, a brush and gloves. I did that, and then some paper towel and a sponge brush to apply the sealant on top. So the first thing that I want to do for this piece is take the little knob off, a little handle off of the drawer, because I will be adding some gilding wax. And I just want to say my outfit today is on point. I have ruined so many pieces of clothing in this renovation that I am no longer allowing myself to wear anything decently looking for when I'm doing any type of painting, staining, or anything like that. So I'm literally wearing my grubbiest clothes I can possibly find. So like I said, don't mind the outfit. So once that is off, I took that garbage bag and I just cut it up so I can open it up, and then I taped it around the legs of this piece, that way just so I protect it when I'm using the paint stripper. So now that everything is taped up, it is time to add some gloves and spread the paint stripper all over the part of the furniture that I'm going to be stripping. So I'm using just a paper towel just to spread it around, and I'm going to let it sit for just a little bit. Now I'm not sure how at this time I wasn't sure how it was going to react, because I was doing it outside and it was warm. It wasn't overly hot, but it was warm. So I did end up adding a little bit more paint stripper after, just because this one dried a little too fast for me. To take the stain off, I did start using that scraper that I was showing you. Usually that works really well. However, for some reason it wasn't really working that great on this piece of furniture. So once I got as much off as I could with the scraper, I moved on to my hand sander, my round hand sander, and I used that. Now I ran out of the lower, I think I had 80 grit paper, sandpaper. I ran out of that, so I was using my 300, which is not ideal for taking the stain off. So it took a little bit of strength and time to get this all sanded down. I just didn't want to stop the project and run to the store to get the proper sandpaper. So I would recommend that you use a lower number grit paper, something in a 60 to 80, to take the stain off. And then to smooth out the piece, you would want a higher grit paper, so like 320, 350. That's what I typically use. Like I said, here I was using the higher grit paper, and it did take a little bit more time than I would have liked to take this stain off. Once I sanded everything with my power sander, I ended up getting into little nooks and crannies with just a sandpaper, just because it was a little bit easier to do this by hand than with a tool. Once I was satisfied with the sanding, I put my gloves back on and used mineral spirits just to get all the dust and all the other particles that were on there off. This is a great way to clean your wood, and it does a little bit of conditioning of wood too as well. If you ever run out of, if you don't ever have a wood conditioner, a good wood conditioner is also equal amounts of mineral spirits and Warsaw, and that will condition your wood as well, if that's something that you're looking to do. I don't typically condition my wood, but maybe I should. So while the top is drying from the mineral spirits, which didn't take long at all, I took the bag off and I am going to paint all the blue parts and some of the wood parts as well that I decided not to sand down with my Annie Sloan Athenian black chalk paint. And I only did one solid coat of that on here. Now, once the piece was painted, I proceeded to seal the top, and I'm using the General Finishes sealant. It is what I had on hand for all the sealing of the stairs that I did, and I used a brush to apply it. Now, for the stairs, I did 3 applications. Here, I just did 1, depending on how much you're going to be using your piece. That's the more coats you apply, the better the seal is. I will just have the lamp on here, so it's not going to be used overly much. So I just did 1 coat. If you do more coats than 1, make sure that you sand in between with that high grit sandpaper. Now, the last thing that I did was I applied that gilding wax on top of that little handle for the little drawer, and I just used a dollar store brush to apply it. I did end up rubbing some of it off just to give it a bit of a rustic look. I do love how this piece turned out. I would love to know, if you watched my previous makeover of this piece, which one do you like better? I think this one will go with the new decor style that I'm going with much better, but I did love the blue and the dark wood as well. And don't forget to add wax to the bottom of your piece as well. Or you can also add that sealant that I added on top of the wood. You can add that on top of the chalk paint. That will just protect the whole piece for a lot longer. For this makeover, I'm going to be using a dark wax as well as a soft wax to finish everything off with, and then also the 2 brushes, the dark wax brush and a softer. It's just a really quick and easy, simple makeover to give it a new life and to go with the natural wood tones that I'm going currently in. Well, that I'm going right now in my decor. These planes are really throwing me off here. Now this is much better without the plane noise in the background. We don't live too far from a very small airport, so I often have little planes flying around. So for this piece, I'm going to clean it up before I apply the wax. Now, typically I would have not went directly over the white chalk paint, but because this white chalk paint was painted over top of yellow, which gave it almost a creamy look, I was okay with just applying the wax. This was such a quick and easy makeover, and it gave the lamp a totally different look. So all I'm going to be doing here is applying a decent amount of wax all over the piece, working sections at the time, and then taking that paper towel and just wiping some of the wax back and until I achieve a desired look. Now I did wipe a lot of it off, but then I ended up adding a little just a light coat back on again, and this time I did not wipe that off at all, just left it on. It will dry. It is not like the protective wax that you have to kind of wipe off a little bit, because otherwise it'll be sticky. This will dry so it's not that sticky. Now for that little top piece where the light bulb goes in, I decided to paint it with that Athenian black just to give it a little bit of a better look than what it was, because I did not love the way that looked not painted. So I just love the way it turned out. I think it's going with that wood tone that I'm going to be using throughout my house really well. Well, I hope you had enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and also make sure you stay tuned for next video because Christmas in July is starting now.